the fact is that Ben Simmons is still elite. YouTube, what's going on? It's Jonathan with the Banter Broadcast, and as always, we have something special for you today. In this video, we have an NBA exclusive run brought to us by Chris Johnson Hoops, and it is a phenomenal game with a lot of stars, including Ben Simmons and Ja Morant, so stay tuned for this entire video where we break down this game. This video is honestly kind of a random one because this kind of came out of nowhere. I was really not expecting to see Ben Simmons footage this entire offseason because we already know Ben Simmons is an offseason catfish. Everybody seems to agree that every offseason it seems like he develops a shot. Every offseason it seems like he's developed the talent to, take his game to the next level. But it hasn't been the case, and of course he's demanding a trade in Philly because the city has given up on him as well. So that's unfortunate, but this game seems really interesting. You got Tyrese Maxey there, Trey, Lyles, and Jordan Bell. You got it's a pretty good NBA squad here, and you really can't complain when you get off-season footage and off-season film to break down because, we're talking about two of the potential best point guards in the NBA. You got Ben Simmons and Ja Morant. Although Ben Simmons does get a lot of hate, he still is an elite guard. He is an elite facilitator. He's elite in the transition, and overall, the whole Philadelphia 76ers situation is a little confusing. We don't really know what they're going to look like next season. Are you going to get Joel Embiid help, or are you going to just let Ben Simmons sit out from training camp and regular season? Oh my God, as he gets an easy lob from Aaron Gordon. Let's focus a little more on the game. Ben Simmons in the transition is dominant, as I said earlier. He is elite, but seeing him brick a jump shot is still a decent sign. He's shooting it at least in a game. Damn, this guy's lights out. Who is this guy? No offense to this guy, I just don't know him. This kid, Trey Lyles here, pulling up for three. You hand down, man down. You already know. Let's see what this guy's got, man. Dishing it to Ja Morant in the corner with the pump fake. Ja Morant with the dish. Tyrese Maxey showing potential. This is honestly really good content too for you guys because I love seeing players work in the off season. You see them develop into different players. Like Ben Simmons, for example, he can develop into a guy that not only facilitates on offense just like that, but he can shoot and do more for his teammates than just defend, facilitate. That's something that I need to see from him. Ja Morant, I need to see him take the next level in his game. Last season, this take might be a little crazy, but before the season even started, last season I said Ja Morant is a top 5 point guard in the NBA, and I kind of wanted to revisit that in this video because a lot of things changed in the point guard scene. Last season, Trey Young was not in my top 5, and he has skyrocketed in my top 5. So I'm going to show you my top 5 from last year and compare it to this year. So I had Curry at number 1, Dame at number 2, Kyrie at number 3, Ja at 4, and Westbrook at 5. So this was preseason ranks before anything in the season started. So I'm going to do that this season for you guys too. At number 1 and 2, I have it the exact same. Curry and Dame are the 2 best point guards in the league. No questions asked. Like, it's honestly almost interchangeable at this point, whether who's 1 or who's 2, because how good Dame has been. But at number 3, last year I had Kyrie Irving. This year I have Trey Young. Trey Young has taken the next step as a true all-star, superstar point guard. He is going to be the next big point guard. He took the Atlanta Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals, beat the Philadelphia 76ers. Ben Simmons infamously passed up on a dunk because he was afraid to get fouled in that series. But honestly, this is a ridiculous top 5 list. I know it's crazy. but it's right. Trey Young is the third best point guard in the NBA as it stands right now. There's no question about it. At number 4, I have Chris Paul, went to the NBA Finals. The guy's an absolute legend. I didn't even have him in my top 5 last year, but he surpassed Kyrie Irving. Kyrie's at number 5 for me. It's just, I don't know what to expect from Kyrie. I know he's a great player, but I just can't put him better than any of the guys I listed before him right now. It's just too out of hand for me. Aaron Gordon's also another player that I'm really high on. I'm really high on the Denver Nuggets this year as well. I feel like Michael Porter Jr. could take a big step up and assist this team to becoming a contending seed for the number 1 seed. I truly think that the Nuggets have what it takes with Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and other talented guys to contend in the stacked Western Conference. We could say they're a regular season team all we want, but at the end of the day, every top 8 team in each conference makes the playoffs, and the Nuggets just have to put it on paper and perform like they haven't in the past. I know the Nuggets are a really good team, and they have been a really good team for years, but it's just shown regular season wins, hasn't proved successful in the postseason yet, and we need to see that. I truly, genuinely think they could compete with the teams like the Lakers this season, for example, and other teams out west like Phoenix Suns, who had dominant seasons last year and have promising outlooks for the next coming season. But focusing more on Ben Simmons and trade destinations. Ben Simmons is a really good player. As I stated before, I think very highly of him. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people discredit him. Sam made a video, overhated or overrated for Ben Simmons, and a lot of you voted on our community poll that Ben Simmons was overhated. The guy definitely gets a lot of the blame in Philadelphia for the process failing. The process failing could be another good video coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But I don't know. Philadelphia 76ers have a lot to do this offseason, and training camp's just around the corner. So they're running out of time, no questions asked. Tyrese Maxey is a very promising prospect, although he does airball that shot. He's really good. Going back to Ben Simmons though, looking at some possible trade destinations, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves as a pretty good spot for him to fit alongside Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. I don't know if they could keep D'Angelo Russell in this trade to keep him on the Timberwolves, because you probably need to match it. Ben Simmons' salary, well, he just signed the contract extension that's bizarre, so you definitely need to match that salary with somebody, and it's probably going to be D'Lo if this is one of the destinations for him. If it's not, I see the Washington Wizards being another really good destination for him. The Wizards have Bradley Beal to offer, who has been in trade talks, and trade rumors, fan rumors for at least 2 years, 3 years already. Ever since John Wall's departed, and that team hasn't been the same since. Bradley Beal has definitely been on the shopping block, but there hasn't been a good offer there for him. If Ben Simmons is on the table, I think Washington has to make the move. You just can't pass up on a guy like Ben Simmons if you're unhappy with Bradley Beal, and Bradley Beal is unhappy with you. Another team would be the Golden State Warriors. I know the Warriors embrace everybody with open arms. KD, Andre Iguodala, they take them. The problem is the Warriors with Ben Simmons would be one of the most disgusting teams I've ever seen play basketball. He brings a different aspect to the game than a guy like Kevin Durant does, obviously, but Ben Simmons alongside Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry could be dangerous, and let me tell you why. In this trade, of course, Draymond Green would need to be included. You cannot fit both Draymond and Ben Simmons on the floor at the same time. That's black holes everywhere, and you're not going to be able to spread the ball efficiently. Even if you have two of the best shooters in the world, you need to get rid of Draymond if Ben Simmons is going to be a part of this team. The fact is, that Ben Simmons is still elite. The guy, I mean, as he pulls up right there, the guy is definitely developing into a greater player. He has a chip on his shoulder this season, and if you pair him with the team that needed defending last season, the team that needed everything last season, Ben Simmons brings everything to the table, especially if you don't need that offensive firepower with two of the best shooters of all time. It's going to be a match made in heaven. So the Warriors is my #1 best fit for Ben Simmons, but my most liked fit for Ben Simmons, although it's unlikely to happen, would be the Atlanta Hawks. Ben Simmons on the Atlanta Hawks would be a monster. Pairing him with Trey Young and having those two develop together would be a phenomenal sight to see. So if Atlanta could somehow get their hands on this guy, that is my #1 best spot for Ben Simmons, and the Warriors would have to come second to that. One thing I've noticed from this video is that Ben Simmons is not scared to facilitate, and he is shooting a lot more. So I don't know if that's a negative or a positive, because he hasn't made much that he's shot, but he is shooting them, as Aaron Gordon does some weird walk down and just bodies his way into the paint. You can't do that in the NBA, but this ain't the NBA, as we can see. These players are definitely not trying their hardest, but they're definitely putting in the effort to get better. And I'm excited to see what these guys could bring to the season next season. Hopefully we can even see Ben Simmons. There's rumors that he's holding out and he's not going to play a single game for Philly. So if Philly doesn't trade him soon, we might not even see Ben Simmons this season. Hopefully he can take that time to develop his skill and flourish into the player that we all want Ben Simmons to be. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, as it is one of my favorite off-season things to talk about. Film. You can't go wrong with the eye test, and the eye test is saying these players have improved, including Ben Simmons. Make sure to stay tuned for the next video, as we will be having a banter battles between Sam and last week's winner, Ben. See you next time on the Banter Broadcast.